but Trench Grenade, my favorite Navy SEAL influencer, said I don't have to be precise. I'm just doing CQB. He's got to know what he's talking about, right? Stand by.
Not taking precision shots. It's a combat platform. It's made for CQB. That's what we're running and gunning for.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Trench Grenade channel. A channel where somehow we have a side quest, ranting in the kitchen after a 14-hour duty day, where I actually do teach people relevant tactical and rifle marksmanship advice, okay? Two separate topics that should be covered interchangeably, starting with rifle marksmanship and then moving on to tactics and planning advice. Guys, we have a list of notes. We're going to be talking about GBRS and my buddy X-Ray Alpha, Matt Pranka, okay, I call him an acquaintance, posted a video on his channel of GBRS, okay, Goobers group, as I like to refer to them, saying you don't need to be precise with your carbine, that when you're doing CQB, it doesn't matter, you're just using it like a hammer or something along those lines. It's a long video, but I should have included it in this video for you guys to be able to reference, so you know I'm not just making this stuff up because some Navy SEAL said it, okay, allegedly, right? So let's talk about it. If you want to support this channel I think I'm posting this on a Tuesday night after a work day. Anything that you see on the channel during the week will be kitchen rants or Mustang rants to keep your algorithm fed with more bad mustache content in the kitchen here, ranting about past Navy SEAL prima donnas, talking about how you don't need to be precise with your carbine and all the latest drama that any YouTuber that is incompetent wants to post. If you want to support that content, guys, go down below. I'll have a link for the sponsor of the channel. You can buy some things and stuff with that link, so go down there and do whatever you're going to do with that. If you want to support the channel further, I'll leave a link to the Patreon. If you want to buy me something nice, I'll give you a hug and a kiss and a message to the Discord server if you join the Patreon. Thank you to all my current Patreon members. So yeah, everything in the description will directly support the channel. Thank you for using those links. All right, guys, let's talk about the latest GBRS nonsense that has been sent to me again by X-Ray Alpha, Matt Pranka. And we had a good, funny conversation discussing the latest Goobers trend. So I want to say something right off the bat. And I was going to talk about this last, but we'll talk about it first. In the Army, okay, specifically in the airborne infantry, because that's where I can talk mostly from, or as a leader of any kind, a key leader, right? Whether you're mechanized, airborne, drill sergeant, doesn't matter. If you're incompetent, it doesn't matter. Let's say you hypothetically killed 20 people on a deployment, right? Somehow you have 20 kills and you did amazing on a deployment. You come back from said deployment and you were a rock star in deployment. Let's say in this fictional case, you were even, let's say you were a designated marksman or in a sniper section, and somehow you were able to be attributed with 20 confirmed kills. Like, you smoked them, the whole platoon, maybe the whole battalion knows of you. You're just that guy. You're that good, right? Even if you're that guy, what kind of pen? Okay, got some weird pen here. Even if you're that guy coming back from a deployment, in the Army, okay, in the infantry, you get fired if you start teaching stuff that is outside of POI or outside of the lesson plan or things that are just wrong, right? So telling people not to have a dump pouch on their kit, you start telling the whole platoon that, or the whole battalion that, whatever your sphere of influence is, you're going to get fired. Doesn't matter how good you were on that said deployment, that fictional deployment where you smoked those 20 dudes, right? It doesn't matter. If you come back from deployment and you start pitching stuff that's irrelevant, outdated, incompetent, that's like telling people nowadays that you're going to go into a room, or you're going to, this is another thing that they talk about, pieing the door of a room because you're worried about a dude with a suicide vest. Those days are behind us, right? Nowadays it's LSCO, large scale combat operations. So you're trying to kill entire enemy platoons or squads of people, right? So you're not going to stand there and pie off a door. So to finish my example and to tell you guys why I post so much hate, I guess, comments or hate videos towards, not really hate, but just educational videos about Goobers Group, it's because they're posting outdated irrelevant information, okay? So even though if you were that dude on that deployment that came back home after smoking 20 people, hey, thanks for your service, dude. But if you come over to my platoon and you start telling my platoon a bunch of outdated information, I'm going to tell you to get the fuck away from my platoon, respectfully. Thanks for what you did downrange, but you're outdated trash, right? No, no hard feelings. Okay, so let's talk about it. So even if you're that guy, let's talk about the message of the video. So in the latest video, they're talking about specifically CQB, all right? They're talking about you don't need to be precise in CQB because you're just hammering targets, right? Well, that is not correct for a number of reasons. In real CQB, you're moving in and around structures, in and around teammates, right? So you're moving around, hopefully not in your teammate, okay? But that's a whole nother issue. But you're moving around teammates in structures, right? So you do need to be precise and you need to understand offset, both height over bore, and you need to understand a fist width. So if my battle buddy is moving up a wall, I need to understand exactly where he is in time and space to be able to engage that threat as my battle buddy moves into my sector of fire, right? So saying that you don't have to be precise with your carbine and with your handgun in CQB distances is factually incorrect. If I heard one of my Joeys talking about how they don't need to be precise in a room because it's just CQB, you just need to get in there and hammer the target, I would fire them. I would either scuff them up, do some mentoring or coaching, or I would just get them moved out of the platoon, sent to S3, right? Because you don't want that type of individual that just doesn't understand. So in that particular case, I would say, hey dude, hey little private, who taught you that you didn't need to be precise with your rifle or with your carbine in a room with your teammates, right? And they would say, well, I saw it on the internet from Goobers group. And I would say, hey dude, check it out. Stop watching them. They're trash. It's outdated information. It might have been good for 2006 if you were in SEAL Team 6. However, you're not that guy. You're not in 2006 and you're not in SEAL Team 6. You're in an infantry platoon, a rifle platoon. You're here to kill people. And the way you're going to kill people is to be precise, put rounds on target as your teammate moves up those adjoining those walls near you, making sure that you're not going to engage them in that 45 degree. So a general rule of thumb is a fist width off the end of your buddy's muzzle or their non-firing hand. You decide for your unit SOP, but typically it's a fist distance away from their muzzle, okay? So a fist, distance away from their muzzle is as close as you can engage to that enemy combatant without smoking your own dude potentially because they're moving, the enemy's moving, etc., right? So if anyone ever tells you you don't need to be precise in a CQB environment, they are just wrong. It's a factual statement. All right. If you went to any sort of company level op order and some freaking, I don't know, the company commander was like, hey guys, don't worry about being precise. Just be fast. You'd be like, first of all, sir, don't you want to hit what you're aiming at? Okay. So that brings us into the next point. Again, nothing personal, but if I had a soldier that was getting advice from Goobers Group, I would tell them to turn it off or to just use that stuff as entertainment purposes only, not actual tactical advice. Again, might have been good in 2006 for SEAL Team 6, but it's not good today. All right, moving on to the next point. Balloons. So a lot of you guys, a lot of the... what do I call you guys? I guess fanboys, the Goobers Group fanboys that think just because someone was a Navy SEAL at some point in time that they're still relevant. Guys, never take somebody's resume and just hire them on the spot. You have to vet everybody you meet. If somebody is giving you bad information, you have to vet that person. Just because somebody did good in 2006 in SEAL Team 6 doesn't mean that they're relevant today. So let's talk about that. So, make sure you vet, who you're getting advice from. I have a couple videos on the channel now, thankfully, about my career, so you guys can go watch those. And I'm not saying that my career means anything, because I don't stand on my career like these Navy SEALs do, right? So let's talk about it. To the chest, one to the head, one to the groin. Okay, failure drill. The modern failure drill is not really a failure drill anymore because dudes are wearing body armor. So you acquire positive identification of the target. Point number one. So I'm looking over say I enter a room, right? Going to my point of domination. Point of domination is a corner, right? I go to my point of domination. I begin my sweep to my sector that I need to clear. Looking over my optic, over the top of my optic, and when I identify a target, an enemy combatant that has a weapon, I'm going to simply consider my height over bore, so safe to semi, and engage that dude 2 times in the chest, once in the head, once in the groin, or as many times as I need to make that dude not do the thing that he's doing anymore. My teammates, okay, my teammates are coming from the other way. So they enter the room, they go to their point of domination, they clear it, and as they're coming back across, okay, they're looking over the top of their optic as they identify that enemy combatant, because our sectors are going to cross, okay? They're going to cross over each other. As my teammate identifies that enemy combatant looking over their optic, they're going to do the same thing. Safe to semi, 2 to the chest, 1 to the head, 1 to the groin. So, if all 3 to 4 members of your fire team, or whoever you're clearing that room with, do the same thing, 2 to the chest, 1 to the head, 1 to the groin, being precise and accurate with their rounds, you just hammered that dude into their 72 virgins or whatever they got going on and whatever they believe, right? So, what is the message of the video? The message of the video is, yes, you need to be precise in CQB. Just because that dude is over there in that doorway, right, you still need to be precise. You have teammates moving around you. The enemy is moving. They're wearing body armor. They're going to probably be wearing a ballistic helmet as well. You need to put 2 to the chest, 1 to the eye box, 1 to the groin, and then continue to assess your work through your sights on the target. And if you need to put more rounds on them, do it. Okay? You need to be very precise. Just because in SEAL Team 6 in 2006, just because the enemy didn't have body armor every time, well, nowadays they do. Even if you're a civilian watching this, the bad guys will probably have body armor, especially if it's any sort of SHTF WROL scenario. So, in summary, another bad take from the Goobers group. Again, they don't know me. I don't know them. But in a world of GunTube BS, right, or as Vintage Warfare, another YouTuber, if I remember to tag him on the channel or the description, I will. We will be doing a collab hopefully here soon, talking about, I don't know his background, but what I know is, I know enough about him to know that he is willing to stand up for what is right and what is quality content and what is trash and inherent trash, right? Or gun slop is what he calls it, right? So, shout out to Matt Pranka, X-Ray Alpha, Vintage Warfare, and all the gun channels that are posting quality content based on actual experiences and advice that will keep you alive, not just saying some sort of catchphrase, cool guy, whatever, cry precision pants wearing, douchebag stuff, right? Don't listen to all that. Listen to dudes that have your best interest in mind. Me, some random weirdo on the internet that just, I guess, has no life and wants to talk to you guys about tactics and rifle marksmanship. Okay, the 2 things I'm most passionate about in the world, other than Nighthawk, okay, shout out to Nighthawk, are rifle marksmanship and tactics and keeping you guys alive and keeping my platoon alive, right? Okay, so with all that being said, thanks for being here, guys. Support the channel. If you got this far, hit the like button. Helps out more than you know. Until next time, this will be Trench Grenade, your average Nighthawk enjoyer that your mom said that we have at home, signing out. Cheers.